I see a lot of people going ahead and just keeping it real. And I didn't think I was going to have to be one of them people, but now I'm at the point to where I need to go on and keep it real too, because I need to know what my options are. Today, my local HPD teamed up apparently with the Federal Bureau of Investigations, came to my house about the $15,000 PPP loan that I applied for. I do her out of my house. My sister does her professionally, so I just use her credentials. I got awarded some money, and that shit is real.
I told you not to. I told you.
And I got 3 kids, and I was hoping somebody could tell me, how do I tell them? What do I tell them? Because I don't know what it's going to be. I'm going to keep y'all posted and updated, but I don't know.
I'll be 100% honest with y'all. I have no advice for her and her situation, but I do have some advice for some of the people out there in the audience. A lot of y'all are older, man. Y'all can't be running to the comment section like that every time a smoke alarm beat, man. Saw 2 of y'all almost twist y'all ankle. So be careful out there. I can't front, man. I was rooting for her, but I had a sneaky suspicion that we was going to hear that fire alarm. And I think at one point we heard a double beat.
Professionally, so.
But anyway, man, we're going to get into these people that thought they got away with these PPP loans. And obviously they didn't, because the cops is coming to get that money back. What it look like, TV?
I am back. What it do, baby?
YouTube's own Varnell Hill.
Did you miss me?
Your very own spokesman for the Insidians. We're inside and we're comfortable.
They're so comfortable.
And I'm back with another one. And I'm glad to be back with y'all, man. But anyway, if y'all didn't catch the midweek video in the first hour, they clipped that one. The video was called Am I a Snitch If I'm Telling on Myself? It was about the scammers and the spoofers out here running crazy, and YouTube deemed it as, you know, dangerous content, so they yanked that one. It is a backup channel right now at FAFO on YouTube. I'll link that down in the description, so go follow that channel just in case something happens with this channel. But we're going to get back into these PPP scammers, man. We told them. We tried to tell them. First we tried to warn them. Then we tried to tell them they was in trouble after the fact, and they kept telling us to shut up, to mind our business. We didn't know what we was talking about. It wasn't no warrantless. Now, all of a sudden, everybody's getting locked up.
Oh, shit. They done spent the block with them arrest warrants for that PPP loan. So y'all remember in 2020 when everybody was cashing out, popping bottles, getting crazy? Yeah, they done spent that block. And if you don't know what I'm talking about this.
Why I'm going to jail? If I tell y'all one more time why I'm going to jail, I did fraud. That's why I'm going to jail. Don't ask me no more. Y'all probably trying to scream for me.
This aggression will not stand, man.
Story time TikTok, how I got indicted on $11 million PPP SBA loan case. Damn. I did the loan back in 2021. My business was legit all the way through, but the guys I dealt with wasn't legit. I didn't know them. I met them through, you know, one of my partners or whatever. And man, I pled guilty on the case. They ended up giving me 1 day, time served, 5 years supervised release. I lost the job. I was making $90 grand a year because I pled guilty. They charged me with wire fraud, and I had a conspiracy charge. I had about 12 to 13 co-defendants, and none of us know each other. They tried to hit us with they tried to be like we had a wire fraud ring going on, but as the case went on, they figured out that none of us know each other. The guys that were doing the loans, they testified against me, really everybody on the case. Y'all stay tuned for part 2.
You're a lucky man.
I started with his testimony because he the lucky one in the video. Everybody else ain't gonna get this lucky as to just get a day.
So we're talking about how I went to prison pregnant for getting a PPP loan. Okay, y'all, so I got a lot of questions that I see you guys had asked me. One of the questions was how much I got, how much time did I do in prison, and you know, all of that. So I want to get into that. So I was on pre-trial a whole year before I was sentenced to go to federal prison. I got indicted March 15, 2023. I was sentenced April 21st, 2024. In between that time, my lawyer was telling me that I was only facing 0 to 6 months because of my criminal history was low. And if you know the feds, they base your sentencing off of a sentencing guidelines chart. So I ended up getting my PSR. If you don't know what a PSR is, it's a pre-sentencing report. Remember when I told y'all that my lawyer told me that I was only facing 0 to 6 months? So we get the pre-sentencing report, and it has all these enhancements on there. I was only supposed to pay back $40,000, which is what the prosecution asked for. And these people had me having to pay back $100,000. So that boosted my amount up. So if you get more than $70,000, you'll get an enhancement of 8 points. They didn't let me get my 3-point reduction. Let me break down the $100,000. Okay, I had to pay back my loan. I had to pay back the person's loan who was indicted with me. And I had to pay back 3 other people's loans who I referred as well. But they were not indicted on this case. They never went to court. They never did anything. The prosecution didn't even want me to pay back these loans. That's just how dirty the judge was, y'all.
You're an idiot!
Y'all, real life, trying to get me on some shit that y'all know for a fact I did not do. Besides that, I never even got the money, or the dude never even got his money. Well, that's what he told me. He told me that he didn't get the PPP loan.
Oh my goodness. I lied.
So I'm thinking that he didn't even get the PPP loan. Come to find out, this motherfucker did get the PPP loan, y'all. He got the PPP loan, but told me that he didn't get it.
Hello?
So I'm getting in trouble for some shit that I didn't even gain any benefit off of. For real, like. A whole year later, I found out that I would be facing 24 to 30 months. Y'all, my lawyer was telling me for a whole year that I was only going to get probation, and I was asking him, like, what steps do I need to take? Like, what do I need to prepare myself for? He was like, well, it's fine. You don't have to really change anything. I'm going to make sure you get probation and all this. But they ended up giving me all these enhancements, saying that I was a leader, and I orchestrated all of this stuff, and they gave me enhancements, and I ended up being 25 points on the sentencing guidelines. So with 25 points, I was facing 24 to 30 months of federal time. I had so many letters. I had so much support from my community. Everybody was writing letters for me. You know, people was really, really like there to support me through these. And they didn't matter when I went to court. The judge didn't even read any of my letters. So like probably 2 days before I went to court, I ended up taking a pregnancy test. And the pregnancy test results came back, you guys, I was pregnant. So I ended up going to court. I let her know that I was pregnant. She didn't care. She was like, why did you get pregnant? She asked me, why did I get married? She didn't really care. She kind of didn't have any sympathy for me because I was pregnant. So after that, she ended up sentencing me to 24 months in federal prison. I had to turn myself in 2 months after my sentencing date of April 21st. I ended up turning myself in July 21st of 2024. And I went to prison. I was almost 3 months pregnant when I went.
It was so many people out there during the time of the PPP loans that thought they was so slick being middlemen. Even the middlemen are getting caught up. And if you was middleman and they want you to pay your loan, the people's loans you refer, it's getting ugly out here, man. And like she said, the prosecution wasn't even asking for it. It was the judge. And I gotta be real, I don't fault the judge, man. The judge was like, I'm not letting you walk on this. You gonna pay this back. You gonna pay back everything that you influenced. But the stories continue, y'all.
Okay, you guys, I'm over here stressed out because you remember when the PP loan was here? I did the PP loan and I just got a freaking, oh my God, I just got a letter in the mail that said I'm subpoenaed to court for this. And if charged, I'm facing 10 years in federal prison. 10 years in federal. Hold on. Matter of fact, let me get the paper for you guys. I'm going to show you the paper. Hold on. Because what the? 10 years. Hold on. I'm trying not to cry because I'm trying to make sure. Hold on.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you.
We don't.
Like I have said on this channel thousands of times, I'm no genius over here. I'm not the sharpest knife in the shed. We didn't establish that already. But I think it would be wise that if you guys subpoenaed the court for a PPP loan, don't make a TikTok talking about, remember when I did that PPP loan. You know what I mean? You might not want to incriminate yourself while you're actually on trial or about to be on trial.
That's an interesting way of putting. That makes sense.
I don't know. Like I said, I'm not no genius or nothing. Just an idea, a thought.
Imagine your friend putting a PPP loan in your name and then running off with the money. Okay, so boom, you and this girl, y'all been cool for 2 years. Y'all end up meeting at work, and then y'all end up building a bond at work that end up spilling out into your personal life, and y'all became friends. Y'all even once had a her business together, but the sales weren't salesing, so y'all end up closing their business down. Around the time PPP loans first came out, your friend ended up calling you excited as hell, saying that she had got approved for $20,000 and asking you if you wanted to do one. You end up asking her, you know, what's a PPP loan? She started explaining it, and you like, hell no, like I don't need them type of legal troubles. She like, no, girl, it's cool. They'll be doing loan forgiveness, woo, trying to pretty much woo you into doing it, trying to persuade you into getting one. But you like, no, I'm like, I don't need them type of problem. Like, you sure? Bitch, I'm cool with my 9 to 5. So she posting on social media shit. You even sharing some of her posts to try to get her some clientele, and she was getting clients and she was getting people approved. Boom, because she was so good at people was asking her to teach them how to do it. So she decided to charge people like $250 a pop to teach them how to do the PPP loans, and mother was paying. She ended up calling you one day, and you did work from home, and was like, you know, can I use your Wi-Fi because my Wi-Fi out at the house? So you're like, yeah, girl, that's cool. Come on, I'm working from home anyway. So she ended up getting over there, whatever, y'all talking, blase. She ended up asking you because she used your name as like a demo for the class. So you like, no, I don't want to do it. It's like, no, it's gonna be a demo, so it's not gonna actually go through. So you like, you sure? She's like, yeah, sure, I promise. You said you want to do one. You ain't got to do one. I just need somebody to use it as a demo. You went ahead and gave her the information, you know, that she would need to do the demo. You heard her doing the demo, heard her telling people, you know, to get a prepaid card with the just pretty much giving them the rundown. So she ended up leaving after it was done, and she was like, girl, I'll see you later, blah, 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 blah. And that was the end of that day. Boom, a few months later, your friend ended up quitting her job because I'm guessing she was in her fucking bag with them PPP loans. So let's fast forward a little bit to around the time, like tax time. You end up getting a letter to your address from the IRS saying that you owe them $20,000. And if you need any assistance, call this number. You end up calling the number, whatever, and they end up sending you the information about the PPP loan because honestly, you was close. You ain't found no mother PPP loan. So they end up giving you a website where you can go and check the application, maybe, you know, change the information to get logged in, and bitch, when you did, you end up seeing that there was a PPP loan in your name saying that you was a mobile nail tech, that you had 8 employees, and that you had made a certain amount of money, and that $20,000 was sent to a prepaid card in your name. You never received $20,000. So you try calling your friend and shit. When you call her and you end up asking her about the $20,000, she started stuttering and immediately hung up in your face. You tried to call back. By that time, you was blocked. She had blocked you on Facebook, blocked you on Instagram. You end up going to her house, and she had already moved. And it was crazy because you hadn't been over her house in a little minute because you was working on doing some shit for the new year. You was trying to start yourself a new business and shit. You was kind of busy. So you end up going to the police because you can't find this bitch nowhere. She don't even live in the same house no more. She had moved and everything in a matter of months. So when you went to the police, they end up telling you that it was a civil matter and that you would have to take her to court and make sure that you got evidence. So that's what the you start doing. You start looking for some evidence. You start posting on social media. You start screenshotting text messages and shit like that y'all was talking about when she was talking about the PPP loan when she asked you, did you want it? And you told her no. After you collect the evidence, you end up finding out that she did that shit to 5 other people, filed PPP loans in their name and ran off with their money. So you end up filing a report with the SBA, and you also file fraud. They end up doing an investigation, and it took them about 6 months, but they end up, coming to the conclusion that you was not the one that received the loan, especially with all the evidence that you had. They said that they was looking for her. You gave them all the information that you had on her, hoping that they would find her. Bitch, look. 2 months after that, you was happy as because now you was no longer in illegal trouble, but then you end up going to the Kroger's over here on Union, end up seeing a bitch with a mother BBL and a brand new Gucci bag walking up the mother deli aisle.
Girl, really?
PPP fraudsters rotting in prison. Andre Lorquet wanted to get rich without working hard, so he decided to submit multiple fraudulent loan applications to the Paycheck Protection Program between June 2020 and November 2021. Along with his applications, he submitted fraudulent paperwork. He was hoping to receive $4.7 million in funding, but he received $4.4 million. Lorque bought a Lamborghini Urus, a Porsche Panamera GTS, and 2 Teslas. Along with his rides, he got some bling. He purchased an Audemars Piguet watch, a custom pendant, and a chain with 70 carats of diamonds. He flaunted his purchase on Instagram, and in August 2023, the feds came knocking with an arrest warrant. They charged him with 4 counts of wire fraud, 4 counts of money laundering, and 1 count of identity theft. He was facing up to 22 years. He pleaded guilty to a count of money laundering. In March 2024, he was sentenced to 71 months in federal prison.
Book him, Dana.
Part 2, how I got indicted on a $11 million PPP SBA loan. So, like I told y'all, I didn't know these guys. I had a homeboy call me like, hey, bro, such and such, doing these loans, man, he can get you approved. You need a 580 credit score, all this shit. I'm like, all right, bro, sign me up. So I talked to the guys. I'm like, bro, this shit legit? They like, yeah, bro, everything legit. You gonna get a tax return. You gonna get this. You gonna get that. I'm like, all right, everything's legit. I kept asking them if I still got a damn text message. I kept like, bro, this shit ain't no scam. They like, nah, bro, it's not a scam. I promise. I promise it's not a scam. I'm like, okay, cool. I got you. Let's go and do it. So, man, do the shit. But hold on, y'all. First, another red flag. I should have known something when my motherfucking partner that turned me on to the shit didn't even sign up for the motherfucker. But, my feeling out. I get approved. All right. I get my money. I reach out to them. I say, hey, man, my money just hit. What I owe y'all? So, initially, the nigga gave me one price. But when I got my money, the motherfucker went up on me. And me not knowing what I know on that, I should have ran off on their ass because it wouldn't have been shit they could have did. Like, it was a scam, what I mean, I'm finding out. So, I could have took off with the damn money and nothing would have came back on me. Like, it wouldn't even been no trace to my name. Like, the only way I got caught in the shit because they had me to get them a cashier check. So, the money was wired to them. There was the paper trail. So, if I didn't get them folks no cashier check, or if I didn't pay their ass at all, I would have never got picked up on this shit. And no, I did not get $11 million. My case totaled out to be $11 million with everybody on the case, the amount of money that everybody received. So everybody got different amount. You got people got from $50,000 all the way up to $500,000. And like I said, it's plenty of us on this case. So this how it became an $11 million case. Ain't no snitching one on, no 5K one on my name, none of this shit. Then me having like no background, no criminal history played a role in how I got 1 day time served and 5 years of probation. Plus I got restitution I have to pay back as well. But man, the guys just was on a bunch of crooked ass shit. I didn't know. I was green to the shit they gave me. But well, like I said, I got my money, man. I'm living. Like, I'm buying shit. I had at the time I already had a box truck and a dump truck. So my money hit, I had went and bought a semi truck. So I'm like, shit, I'm finna just live it up. Like, I'm living my life. But me not knowing, when I got my money, these motherfuckers done got picked up by the feds. I ain't told nobody shit. Like, and I'm knowing this once I got indicted, I saw my paperwork and I saw when they got picked up. I'm like, damn, as soon as I got my money and paid them folks, they get picked up. But they didn't reach out and say, hey, bro, man, the feds just got us. Like I said, I ain't know me. They could have reached out to my partner who I met them through and been like, hey, bro, the feds got us or whatever, this and it. But fast forward, about a year go by, a year and a half, almost 2 years go by, my partner hit me up. He like, bro, mine such and such, gone to the feds. I said, huh? He like, yeah. He like, so bro, just be careful. So I'm like, all right. I'm like, say less. So I'm not thinking of other shit because I'm like, I'm legit. That's what I'm keep telling myself, like, bro, you legit. So you ain't studying that shit. Like, you did everything you supposed to be did. But me not knowing, when I wired them that goddamn money, they put me in this damn case. So like I said, if I would have never gave them that cashier check, it would have never came back on me.
Man, we tried to tell y'all, man. We tried to tell y'all. And it's a lot of people that's getting locked up for this or have been locked up for this, to the point where everybody kind of is starting to know somebody that has been locked up or heard of somebody that's been locked up or a business or so forth and so on, like they're coming to get you.
The feds are cracking down. 3 individuals sentenced for $3.5 million in COVID-19 relief fraud scheme. See, the feds are not playing games. For those of you who's applying for those PPP loans and you ain't have a business, listen, the feds are coming. They are cracking down. And let me tell y'all, for those of you at the time, I know you probably thought it was a great time, but now y'all about to have the real PPP. Poor people problems in jail.
You can run, but you can't hide.
My coworker got fired for getting the PPP loan. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because I saw a girl's video saying that she just had her case with the feds regarding getting the PPP loan, like lying on the application, and she got sentenced to 9.5 years. 9.5 years. And I saw other people in the comments saying that they're going through their case. I saw somebody else say that they got sentenced for wire fraud. And these people are not playing. They are not playing, and banks are assisting. They are assisting in the process. As somebody who works in banking, who's worked in multiple different banks, the banks help the IRS. But let me tell y'all what happened with my coworker. So this is my coworker that turned into a friend. So I had already left the company by the time that she got fired. But ultimately what happened was, this was 2022. The list came out of everybody who had got the PPP loan. She obviously was on that list. And she ended up in HR. Clearly the bank was looking at the list. Not my current job, y'all. Again, this is a company that I left. So don't call them people again, please. But she ended up in a meeting with HR. They asked her like, oh, you were on this list, you have a business. And basically there was a date that your business had to be established to qualify for the PPP loan. And a lot of people created LLCs after that date. And that's how they know if your application was fraudulent. And so they told her like, I don't think that you qualified for this PPP loan based on when you established your business or whatever. But she didn't admit to anything. And her business was selling handmade jewelry, right? So the reason why they were able to fire her is because if you've ever worked for a bank, a financial institution, a brokerage, you have to disclose all outside business activities. It's regulatory. You have to sign off that you will disclose anything, any second job, any second source of income. If you're a part of the board of directors for any type of company, nonprofit, sometimes even volunteer work, you have to disclose it so that the bank can make sure it's not a conflict of interest. So basically they fired her because they said that her not disclosing that she had a business was violating company policy, because she should have told them. And I'm sure y'all are going to say, well, she should have told them that, she stopped the business when she started working. I guess whenever she established it, she had already started working there. So like the days just didn't line up. But yeah, they fired her and said that it was because she didn't disclose that she had a business. But if she had disclosed that she had a business, it wouldn't have been a conflict of interest for her to sell handmade jewelry. They fired her because of that PPP loan. And that was just her excuse. So be careful, y'all. They are coming.
A Tampa woman was sentenced to prison for defrauding a bank for nearly $600,000 in PPP funds. Here's my thing. They saying she took $600,000, but she was only sentenced to 24 months in federal prison and ordered to forfeit $7,500 only. First, she was facing 30 years and $1 million fine. I'd have took that deal too. Now, how she did this was she recruited family members and friends and submitted false applications and documents in order to obtain the PPP money. Then she created fictitious businesses and email addresses to fool loan officers into thinking they was communicating with the real borrowers. And in exchange for her services, she said she would handle all the necessary paperwork in return for half of what they qualified for. For example, one person was approved for and received $20,000, and out of that, $7,500 went into her personal account. At the end of the day, it's not worth it. Just build your business and your business credit profile the right way, and you won't end up in jail for stuff like this.
You would pretty much expect a common civilian to try their luck and press their luck. But you really wouldn't suspect a police officer, somebody that you would imagine would be competent and actually have a thinking brain in their mind to want to participate in this type stuff. But you even had police officers trying to get away with PPP loans.
Federal charges. One of those owners is a former Phoenix police officer accused of misusing COVID relief money. Tony Richardson arrested by the FBI. A federal indictment obtained by ABC 15 says the ex-cop and another person submitted fraudulent Paycheck Protection Program loan applications. Investigators say the business listed on the applications is called the Lotto Club, described as a charity for veterans that we're told was once housed in Glendale. Richardson is listed as having complete ownership of the place, and when she applied for COVID relief funds, she told the government she had an over $500,000 payroll with 85 employees. The indictment, though, says that's not true, and the Lotto Club has no employees and no payroll.
Police officers are held to a higher standard.
Anthony Ramirez isn't involved in the case, but he's a former law enforcement officer, now an attorney.
And they're expected to know the law and know when they're doing wrong.
The indictment states Richardson was given more than $1.2 million in COVID relief money she allegedly used for personal expenses and had tucked away in personal bank accounts. Phoenix PD says her alleged actions go against the core values of the city and that she resigned before they could fire her. A trial date already set for early February.
Call the police.
They was throwing so much money around at the time without no checks. Everybody was falling and taking the bait. But before we move on, I want the people out there that bypassed the PPP loan and thought that you just was going to scam the unemployment money that they was giving out at the time. Come on down! They coming for y'all too. Don't think that y'all are forgot about. When we be talking about these PPP loans, we talking about all you unemployment scammers from that time period too. They coming for y'all.
We turn now to the rapper arrested after bragging about getting unemployment benefits. He's now charged with scamming the system after applying for more than $1 million in aid. Here's ABC's Megan Tavrizian.
This morning, a rapper who bragged about getting rich from defrauding the government has been arrested, accused of doing exactly that. Fontrell Antonio Baines, who goes by the stage name Nuke Bizzle, is accused of applying for more than $1.2 million in jobless claims intended for those impacted by the coronavirus pandemic. In a YouTube video titled EDD, posted on September 11th, Baines is holding stacks of envelopes from the Unemployment Development Department.
Come on now, dawg. Come on, man. I done got rich off of EDD. Ain't hit no more licks of EDD.
Bragging about getting rich. Another rapper boasting about going to the bank with a stack of these. Those envelopes, presumably debit cards for those filing for unemployment.
You got the name and number, I got the edit.
Baines' music video painting a remarkably similar picture to what federal prosecutors argue actually happened. Authorities saying the rapper used stolen identities to apply for jobless benefits. You happy now?
My man really thought that he was going to scam him for damn near $1 million or $1 million. Then he was going to be bold enough to rap about it, and he was just going to walk off into the sunset.
Yeah, right.
Y'all really don't know who the government is, man. Y'all think it's sweet. But obviously y'all finding out one by one by one. And then you got the people that just took it totally too far, and it was like, come on, man. You had to know you was going to get caught. 18 million.
If you all see this couple here, go up and ask them for a loan, because they just got convicted of obtaining $18 million in PPP loans fraudulently. They're facing up to 52 years in jail each, and their sentencing date is in October. But they said, fuck that. They cut off their ankle monitor. They're gone. The feds are looking at it. They're fugitives now. They use the money to buy designer clothes, houses, diamonds, all that shit. Popping bottles. And it's nice how this article has nice pictures of them, and the mugshots tiny down below. They hooked them up. And they got the money by opening fake companies, using phony payroll, and forged tax documents. Sound familiar, y'all?
He acting like he thought they was going to come up with a brand new way of doing things or something. Nah, everybody did it the same way. They was lying, just like everybody else. But the real crazy part about it is I'm not going to say the community is large, but it's a community of people out here that's feeling sorry for these people and think that was in 2020. We should just forget about it and just move on.
The girls are coming on here and telling their story about how they had to do federal time for those PPP loans. And I'm not going to lie to you, I feel bad for them, because not only do they have to pay back their own loans, they have to pay back other people's loans also. Plus due time, like time, like 2 to 9 years kind of time. Not to mention, some of these girls have little kids. Some of them are pregnant now. This was over 4 years ago. I see a lot of comments talking about, oh, they did the crime, they should be doing the time. And I get it. But damn, y'all, like, that is really sad. I don't know who needs to hear this, but just a friendly reminder, don't do it, because it will come back to haunt you.
Don't do it. It'll come back to haunt you, and they shouldn't have did it because it's haunting them right now. It needs to be the only message. You don't even know who the girls are. Yo, y'all need to stop this siding, rattling with people, just because they the same sex agenda of you. Like, we need to cut this out for the rest of 2025, 2026, men and women. And we need to just start siding on the side of what's right. Because if you really cared about the girlies, you would have been anti this from the beginning. We don't do this type stuff. That need to be a rule. And if the rule is we don't do this type stuff, ain't none of the girlies involved in it. So come on, man. We can't be all feeling sorry for people after they mess up. We need to be trying to help people before they mess up. Because feeling sorry for them after they mess up, like you feeling sorry for somebody, is not going to help them do their jail time or help them not get any jail time. Nobody care that you feel sorry for the girlies, man. You can say that, Post. And I say that out of love, man. As a father of 3 daughters, I say that. Check my daughter before she crash out, man. Check my daughter when she got the crash out idea. Don't wait till afterwards and feel sorry for her, man. You ain't helping nothing. That ain't treating my daughter like one of the girlies. But anyway, man, hit me up in the comment section and tell me if I'm being a little bit too harsh. We should feel sorry for them and we should forget about this because it's 5 years ago. Like I said, man, I don't be having the answers for everything. I could be off. So if I am off, let me know in the comments section. But this video is going to end like all the other ones. But before we end this one, I told you. We told you. We told y'all they was coming. We told you all the way back on episode 1 that they was going to make their way around to y'all. But y'all just kept telling us we was full of it, man. But it's here now. It's here now. But anyway, man, let's get back on track.
Just stay focused.
This video is going to end like all the other videos, man. Hit me up in the comments section. Let me know exactly how you feel about everything you have just witnessed.
Tell me how you felt about what just happened there.
And if you done made it to this point in the video, you are my MVP.
It was a stone groove, my man.
I'm out of here.
This is how the government is catching people that file falsely and fraudulently PPP loan applications. Now, they're using a combination of data analysis, audits, and tips from whistleblowers to catch people who file falsely, and also using agencies like the Small Business Administration, the Department of Justice, and also the IRS to track suspicious activity like inflated payroll figures, fake businesses documentation, and also other things that's kind of like a misrepresentation in the business. They're also cross-checking the PPP applications with tax records, business licenses, and other public data to spot inconsistencies as well. Now, in some cases, some people are being charged and prosecuted that only helped people file fraudulent PPP loans. So tell me what you all think. These PPP loans were filed in 2020, 2021, around the COVID pandemic time. It is now 2025. Do you all feel like that people should still be prosecuted for fraudulently submitting PPP loan applications and receiving those funds fraudulently?